Alright gang, this morning we're gonna do a 5k time trial. Now I'm pretty nervous about it. I don't run hard 5ks very often. I did more so than normal this year, but none of them were like targeted. They were all kind of just in the middle of a high mileage block with other things going on that I was targeting more. So I've run pretty consistently over the summer. Over the 5ks that I did kind of like 45 to 23 minutes kind of range, sometimes a little bit faster, which isn't like excessively far off my official PB, and I ran all those efforts relatively comfortably. But I ran an ultra marathon just over a month ago, and I've been recovering from that, so my mileage has been low. So I have no idea how today is gonna go or feel. Get a little bag of tricks sorted out for after. Obviously we want some carbs. Oh my god, focus. Obviously we want some carbs straight after, so that's for afterwards. But before we get started, I'll probably just have a couple of bits of Kendall mint cake, I think. Maybe like half an hour out. Right, now the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to be starting a new training block in 3 weeks, and I need some data really to kind of sort out my target paces for the workouts and stuff. Because I just have no idea what shape I'm in, we need to find out what shape I'm in. So that's what's going on. We're going to figure out how good or bad a shape I'm in after an ultramarathon, how much of my aerobic base I've managed to hang on to, and yeah, just find out how much a hard 5k is gonna suck. I have such weird hobbies. Okay, having a little warm up. Greg's just walking up to where we're going to set the cameras up and stuff. Shout out to Greg for getting up early to come and help me run in a circle. So we're at Rother Valley Country Park because Sheffield's kind of a bit short on flat loops. So logistically, this is the best option for this, even though the surface isn't ideal. Okay, we're gonna get started in a minute. Greg is gonna try and get some drone shots. The wind is not especially cooperative today, so if we don't manage to get any good drone shots, then that's why. But he's gonna give it a shot and see how we do. Gonna set off in a minute, and yeah, I'm still nervous.
Is this the new thing? And she said a lot of she deals with all that. Yes, yeah.
Okay, I don't think I could have gone much faster. There was quite a ridiculously awful headwind on the other side of the lake, and then again when I came around that end, which definitely took a bit of sting out, but that was about as much as my current aerobic fitness can do. And I obviously don't have any speed in my legs because I haven't done any like actual speed for 2 months. So I think it's going to be around 23 minutes. I'll need to check on the stats when we're back home, but that's about what I thought it would be, to be honest. That's fine. I knew it wasn't going to be super quick or anything. I've never been super quick over 5k, but we've got the data now, so that's box ticked. And I can run it into the stats calculator thing and work out what my workout paces need to be. All right, this is the drone that was supposed to get some nice shots of me running today, but yeah, it's decided not to work. That's very naughty of you. Stats. I didn't get around to recording this yesterday, so it's like 6:40 at the minute. I'm not awake yet. As I said, yesterday was mostly about gathering stats that I can use for the upcoming autumn and winter training block. In yesterday's time trial, it looks like I have an estimated LT2 heart rate of around 171 beats a minute and an estimated LT2 pace of 450 a kilometre. I feel like those numbers check out. It feels about right. These are obviously just estimates. If I wanted specific stats, then I'd go get a lab test, but it's just not really on the cards or feasible at the moment. So doing something like a time trial or a 20-minute test is another good way of getting an estimate for your LT2. And then if you wanted to go and get fairly accurate estimate for your LT1, there are other tests to go and do that. I'm not going to have time to get an LT1 test in, so I'm just going to have to kind of go off what Coros is telling me for that, I think. Why do we need these LT2 numbers? So my training block for autumn and winter is going to involve a reasonable volume of interval work, and those intervals have to stay under my LT2. If they go over my LT2, the training's not going to work. And that's it really. There's not too much else that's more complicated about that. I will go into more detail about the training once it starts, but for now, we've got the data and we can move forward. In terms of the effort itself, I didn't really know exactly what shape I'd be in. I hoped I'd be in a similar kind of shape to what I was over the summer, because I didn't think too much of my aerobic capacity had gone away, and the only thing I was going to maybe struggle with would be maintaining speed, because I've just not really done any faster stuff. And that was pretty much how it played out. The only thing I was actually really certain of was that it was going to suck. So I did run a 22:59, which is roughly in the same range as kind of the 5Ks I was running over the summer, but yesterday definitely felt harder than the 5Ks I ran over the summer. I was having to like go much more into the well to try and pick up any pace in the last kilometre, and I wasn't pacing it very consistently either. As you saw, my first kilometre was definitely too quick. My legs did feel oddly springy at the beginning. Like when I set off, I felt really, really smooth. That didn't last very long. You can probably see by the footage or captured later in the effort that my form was maybe a little bit all over the place, as I was just trying to like hold it together. I think it was a useful thing to do, and I'm pleased that I got it done. It just gives me, yeah, more data to work with for the winter training block, because I'd like to get this right. Okay, there's not really too much more to go over today, so I'm going to leave it there. If you enjoyed this video or you want to keep up to date with how the training is going over winter, then hit the subscribe button, like the video, etc., all that jazz. I did that really enthusiastically. You can tell I'm really, really good at selling myself on the internet. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.